Two big challenges today. We have another game against a National League team in a cup competition, followed by a game against a local rival. What could possibly go wrong? Hi folks, how you doing? My name is Stu and welcome to my career save here on FM24. Thank you for joining me in today's video, which is episode 5. I know I called last episode 5. That was number 4. This is definitely number 5. I've double checked. Episode number 5 of Club 1 at Spennymoor, in which we're going to be playing against Forest Green Rovers as the first game in the FA Trophy. And then we're going to be playing Darlington, the local rival, in the National League North. And if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me. And also, hit that subscribe button. Keeps you up to date with everything that's going on. It keeps you up to date with everything coming out of this face right here. So, how have we been doing? Well, you can see the table there. It's still going remarkably well. However, we have lost our first game in the league. It was there against Southport, who, I don't know where they are actually. They're around mid-table. Yeah, they're mid-table, so it's a bit of a weird one. But we did lose that game against them. It is what it is. We waited a long time to lose a game, and we lost 2 in a month. Admittedly, one was the FA Cup. Now, speaking of which, we should really go over that. The monumental effort that it was to get that draw. We got banged by Chelsea in the second leg then. In the return game, in the replay. They utterly destroyed us. It was a bit of a mugging. We conceded a couple of goals in that first half now that really knocked us for 6. We then got a few chances in. They then had a goal disallowed. And then it was just back to the wall stuff all the way through the second half. And eventually the floodgates open. Fafana got a hat-trick. He had a shocker in the first game. We got a hat-trick in this one. Got his revenge on us. And it was rounded off by a Felix penalty in the 89th minute, which ended up making it 5-0. I'm a little bit sad about it, but also that gave us a lot of money. Financially, that set the club up. We've got over £500,000 in the bank. We were in the red before. We're now in the... Is it the black? Do you call it the black when you've got money? I don't know. I don't know what the terms are. I'm not a financialist. I haven't got a clue. But either way, we've got money. That's the main thing. That's more money than we had when we started as well. And almost all of that came from gate receipts last month because of the Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge. So that draw might be the most important game of the season because it's given the club money. It actually doesn't matter that we then got knocked out. It really doesn't. So I'm perfectly happy with how our FA Cup run went, even though we didn't get further than the 3rd round. We were never going to win it, so why bother worrying about it? So, on to today's business. We have, first of all, a game against Forest Green Rovers, who are, as mentioned, a National League side. Now, they're the best National League side we've come up against so far. If we have a look at the schedule and have a look at the teams that we've played, in particular in this competition, we played Altrincham, who are 17th in the National League. They were around that when we played them. The round before that, we played against Rochdale. Now, they're actually doing okay. They're in 8th. But these are the best team that we've played against, and they are currently 4th in the National League. So, you know, I'm expecting this to be a bit tougher than all of the other ones. It's only the 5th round of the FA Trophy, though. I would quite like us to get through this one, but if we don't, we don't. So, the 11 that we're going to be starting with is Mitchell in goal, Ledger, Yarney, Beals and Staunton in defence, Ross and Tolson in the middle with Lennon, Fletcher, Richards and Taylor rounding off the squad. Important thing to mention, number 1. McGinley's going. Now, I can't make any pre-contracts because you can't do that in England. You can't make any pre-contracts for players who are also playing in England. But if you're in Scotland, apparently it's fine. So Aberdeen have actually signed Nathan McGinley. Once they were interested in him, we weren't able to get him to agree a new contract. Now, on the one hand, it's really depressing because he is the best player at the club. On the other hand, those big matches are going to come back to bite us at some point, so I'm not too worried about it. But I mean, this guy is a league... I didn't even notice this. I've not even looked... I've seen the star rating and that's it. He's a League 1 quality player playing in our team. I don't think we're going to realise how good this guy was until he's not in the starting 11 every week. I don't think we're going to realise it. I mean, he's not on the starting 11 today, so we probably will. But yeah, that's the one big depressing thing. Now, in terms of transfers, actually, before we go into the game, very quickly to show you, we have moved some players on finally. McKeown left for a free. This youngster left for a free. In fact, it's just McKeown who's left for a free. That's the only one. So that has given us a bit of a wage budget, but it's nowhere near enough to do anything with. We still can't make any loan signings. We actually had another loan player get cancelled as well, the right back that we had. So we are a bit thin on the ground in the squad. The match load has been quite heavy for some time. We're limping along. We're dealing with it as best as we can, but it is a bit of a problem. Right, let's see whether this game will be a bit of a problem, and fingers crossed it won't be, and we can just go and beat Forest Green Rovers. That'd be quite nice. I would quite like us to have a bit of a deeper cup run in this competition, and I would like us to beat another National League team, because every time we beat them, the more I'm thinking for the eventual promotion that we get, whether it's this season or not, and let's be honest, if it's not this season, we'll have ballsed it up, then we know we're in good stead. Forest Green, actually, considering they're in fourth, on a rotten run of form as well, so this might be the perfect time to play them. Conversely, could also be the worst time to play them, so let's get to it, and let's see whether we can put some goals past them and get ourselves through to the next round. Apparently, according to Match Momentum, we've started off quite well. We're still in the... I was about to start waffling, thinking we're going to have to wait a while for a goal, but in the 5th minute, Fletcher's gone and got a goal. My boy. My absolute boy. He is a quality player when he's not in bad form. When the doesn't enjoy big matches thing doesn't kick into him, he is a solid player. Is it him? Is Isaac Fletcher a big match player? He's both. Consistency as well. Actually, the consistency has not been that much of a problem for him, all things considered. He's been relatively fine. It's more just been, I've been worried about him with big matches, but maybe the two kind of go hand in hand. If he's inconsistent in the big matches, then the two don't necessarily... Oh, that's really annoying. We've just let him do that. If the two kind of overlap a little bit, then it means that one's not active while the other one isn't. So maybe that's what's happening with him. Because when he's bad... Oh boy, he's bad. It's 1-1, by the way. I'm quite depressed about this. We've just let Holtzman just waltz into the box. I like those words being in the same sentence together. But it's a bit of a disappointing one. We have let them just do that, and it is 1-1. They are, in theory, a better side than us. We've dominated them to begin with. However, they are a better team than us, so we do have to bear that in mind. Now, I am going to encourage the boys because we have had a bright start, but I do want to see us push on a little bit more, get a few balls into Taylor, and just see if we can maybe get a second one a little bit quickly rather than dwell on 1-1 for a while. And the ball's into Taylor, and it's exactly what's happened. Carlos Richards with a cross. What a signing that boy's turned out to be. And Glenn Taylor, I hope he can hang on and keep the level that he's at for long enough to get us into the National League. And maybe even long enough to be a part to play in the National League as well. So glancing backwards, he's done a really good job there. And Mr. Spennymoor himself has made it 2-1. Ball whipped in. I mean, he is onside there. I had to think about the lines there. He is absolutely onside. And we lead by 2-1. All action in the first half an hour of this game. I was going to make a point, and I can't remember what the point was. It's gone. Oh, yeah. But this is the 5th episode, obviously, despite me calling last week's the 5th episode. And I'm having a really good time. It's really nice to go from the saves that we've done this year, because we haven't done anything that's kind of lower than kind of what would be the equivalent of League One. Of course, we started Deportivo down in the 3rd tier of Spanish football, but we knew that team was better than that when we joined it, so we knew it was an automatic promotion unless we stuffed it up. And we knew in the second season we had a good chance of promotion as well. So we kind of knew that the horse we were backing was going to get better and better. With this, no idea. We've gone on random, and we've... Oh, Glenn Taylor, stop it. Stop it. 34 years young, I think. I might have just aged him. Same age as me. 34 years young, and he's just gone and scored an absolute... He's our Zlatan. He's our Zlatan. He can do everything, sort of. What a goal that is. Goodness. I was going to talk about how much I'm enjoying the save, basically. And then we see goals like that. He is 34 years old. He is... Well, in reality, he'll be 35 years old, but the game obviously is still stuck in 2023, 2024, just with everything updated. Oh, we're smashing them. Tolson's gone and got a cheeky goal. It's not even any good, and he's gone and got a goal for himself. Nice work, Tolson. Good effort. Did a little gambol there as well. I've discovered if you're not from Birmingham, you don't know necessarily what a gambol. It's a forward roll. It's a forward roll, a gambol. I genuinely, this is a thing. If you're thinking what you want about, I know what a gambol is, I've been told by multiple people who don't know each other that they don't know what a gambol is, and they're people who are not from the Midlands. and not from Birmingham. So that was a gamble. If you don't know it's a gamble, that's not my problem. This is an educational video as well as a Football Manager video. Forward roll, also known as a gamble. You'll thank me later. 4-1 at half time. Get into the second half. Let's see how things go. I do waffle some awful nonsense sometimes. I really do. Right, Staunton crossing it in. And oh! Saved! Okay, there's a bit of justice there. Because I was looking at that. The face I was pulling was that Richards... I don't know how genuine that foul was, because there was a lot of force propelling him in one direction that I don't think could be caused by another human being clattering into you. So, I'm not going to call it a dive, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. Right, I'm going to make a substitution here. Charlie Leonard's not had the best of games. It's not a bad game, though. I'm going to bring Yassine Bella Al Mahani on. I'm going to actually play him on the right. I've never played him on the right, really, so we'll give him a chance there. And Rob Ramshaw's been playing his way back into the team, so I'm going to bring him on as well for a few minutes. He actually played well in the last game, so we'll bring him on too. Give him a few minutes out there. And again, we're kind of hoping the more we play him, the more advertisement we'll have for his services, and people will want to sign him, because he's still someone who no one's come in for. Same with Hooper. I forgot his name for a second. Hooper's still here as well. No one wants him. A lot of these players are out of contract in the summer. I am getting a bit concerned about that, because we're going to have kind of like a late scramble to get everyone re-signed. But it's obviously, if we get promoted, going to cost us more money. And that is a concern that I do have. But we're just going to have to kind of deal with it. They're just giving away a penalty. I mean, if there's any justice in the world, this one will get saved as well, because that was just as much of a dive. It wasn't. That was a legitimate penalty. Right. Can Mitchell do what their goalkeeper did and save a penalty? Answer is no. No, he can't. No, we can't. Well, it's 4-2, but it's 4-2 in our favour. So it's the awkward 2-goal gap that you all know how I feel about, but it is still 4-2 in our favour. Now, they are coming back into the game a little bit. That's absolutely fine, as long as they don't come into it too much. Right, final substitution for us. Let's have a look. Do we want to bring on anyone in particular? I'm just looking at energy levels as well, because these guys have been tired quite a lot recently. We'll bring on McGinley in the middle. Again, he can do a job at centre-back, so we'll bring him on, and we'll give Yanni a rest, because he's been playing a lot of football. Ledger has been playing so much football recently as well. But I've got no one to put in there other than Yanni, who's also playing a lot of football. So the wheels are probably going to fall off one of them at some point. It's a race as to who. But I think we've done it. I think we're through. We are indeed 4-2. That'll do. Thank you very much. Yet another National League team. Pushed to the wayside. Quite like that. Don't know why. I'll take that. Take that all day long. Right. Job 1 done. Job 2. Darlington. That is the next game that we have. The last time we played Darlington, we didn't do it on camera. It was one of the early games of the season, I think it was. We beat them at their place 1-0. You'd like to think that means that we could beat them at our place as well. We didn't really focus on the table last time. Well, haven't focused on it much in this episode either. That's how it's currently looking. We currently have an 11-point gap with a game to spare. So if this is the game to spare, we could end up with a 14-point gap rather, after playing 32 games. That is a pretty tasty gap. In terms of all of the stats for the season, Glenn Taylor, as you'd imagine, on top with 32 goals. He's the best player in the league. And Carlos Richards is actually the second best assist maker. However, Cal Roberts, who is at Scunthorpe, is the best on that. Clean sheet wise, I don't think we're anywhere near. Mitchell's all the way down here on 7. He's only about 5 away from the top, but still, he is a distance away. Right, next game, Darlington, who are 9th. They're local, so bragging rights. Back for the game against Darlington, and this is the 11 we're going to be using. Very similar, only a couple of changes. We have got Mitchell in goal, Ledger, Yanni, Beals and McGinley in defence. We've got Ross and Tolson holding it down in the midfield with Lennon, Fletcher and Richards, supporting Taylor up front. Again, very similar to the last 11, just with a couple of tweaks. We should be winning this, and if it was against any other team in the league, I'd probably be like, yeah, actually we're in good form, we'll win it. When it's this is a local rivalry, I don't know if that counts as a derby necessarily, but when it's a local rivalry / derby, anything can happen. You know it, I know it, anyone who follows football in any way knows it. So we do need to bear in mind they could do a C. You never know. Their form is indifferent. Our form is better, but our form has looked like that recently, actually. So they're on a bit of a wobble. Well, a bit of a wobble is probably a bit of a stretch. They're not having it all their own way. Currently in 9th. They're not far off the playoff places. So they've got something to play for today other than just pride. By the way, those kits, we need to talk about how much they clash, I think, because they're a bit of a... Well, from behind anyway, they don't look great. I suppose the black shorts help. But the shirt colours... I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like a better job could have been done there. But hey-ho, it is what it is. Right, Richards into Fletcher. Ross to Taylor. Taylor going for an absolute worldie there. But it is saved by Jameson. And it is going to be a corner to Spennymoor. Right. Richards with the corner. Looking to whip it in. Gets it on the head of Ross, who heads it just over. Hits the top of the net. And it will be a goal kick early on. Right, let's get that changed. There we go. Back to the table. So at the moment, a point would actually send Darlington one place up. There'd be one place outside of the playoffs, so it would benefit them even just to get a draw here. Whereas we are going to be looking to get a win. And I tell you what, Charlie Lennon winning the penalty helps us out with that. And it is going to be Taylor to take the penalty. He did miss one in his last game, of course. Can he put that to bed? He can, because it's Glenn Taylor. It is what he does. It's his 41st of the season. I don't know what it is with my saves at the moment, but we seem to be really good at having an absolute worldie of a striker. I mean, I say worldie. Glenn Taylor, bless his heart. He's not a worldie of a striker, but he is at this level. I mean, look at us in the Deportivo save. We had Lucas Perez to begin with. Then we had Francisco Esposito. Then we found Johnny Salvador. We just had strikers who were just absolute goal machines, and we've got one at this level at the moment in the form of Glenn Taylor. We just don't have him for very long, or at least we don't think we do. It's very much Lucas Perez, and Lucas Perez lasted for one more season after we got promoted with Deportivo, so I wonder whether we'll be able to do that with Taylor as well. Time will tell. Big cross in here, looking for Richards. Richards can't get on the end of it. McGeady. Who's McGeady when he's at home? McGinley gets on the end of it, actually has a shot and wins a corner, despite the fact I called him the wrong name. He's very generous for letting me off of that one, because that was a horrendous mistake. Right, corner. Richards to take. He has got a short option, doesn't take it. Looking for Taylor, cannot find him. I've actually let Hatfield have a run there, but the highlight ends indicating nothing ended up happening. Good, strong opening, 20 to 25 minutes from us. We have looked really good, looked really sharp, but it is a bit disappointing we've only got the one goal. However, we've at least got the goal, and it's a goal in a big game as well, so we should be glad that we've at least got that. We are approaching half-time. No more highlights at the moment. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being just 1-0. Derby games or local rivalry games, whatever you want to call them, they're a tricky sort, and getting out of them with 3 points is the most important thing. And at the moment, we are looking like we are going to do that. However, there is nothing that we should be taking for granted here, because you never know what's going to happen. We'll tell those two that they can do better, and we'll tell those three they can do better as well. And we'll tell you and you that you weren't that bad. Right, Act 2. Let's see whether we can push it over the line here. Now, it is actually Darlington with an early free kick in the half, and Mitchell manages to do a really good job at turning it around. It is going to be a corner to Darlington. Let's not concede here, boys. Leasley whips it in, looking for Crompton's head, doesn't find it. And Tolson now is going to be the one leading the counter-attack. He has got options ahead of him. Is he going to look for someone? I hope he does, because he's not a good attacking option. Right, so Lennon. He's got body streaming forward, but there are defenders there as well. And it is a free kick here. Barrow is going to be chatted to by the referee. I don't know whether he got a card or anything. Whipped in, nothing doing. It's going to be to Dyer now for the counter-attack for Darlington. We need to get someone on the end of that and just get a tackle in, just to stop him from bursting forward. We actually intercept the pass here, though. Isaac Fletcher now looking to get the ball to someone. Gets it to Richards. Richards trying to go wide. He just loses the ball, though. And now we might be starting to crumble a little bit here. Darlington looking to build up from the back. Leasley into Main. Main out wide to Barrow. Barrow running down the left wing. Our right defence is trying to get in there, but they're doing a bit of a job. We are forcing them back a little bit, but they come forward here. Leasley's going to get on the end of it. Gets it into the box. Into Main. It's a save from Mitchell. I'm going full football commentator here. I don't know why I'm going into commentator mode, but I am. We do very well to defend that. But we are letting them have a few more chances, and it is a little bit concerning. thought that was going to be a penalty for a second. So about the animation there just made me think penalty. I'm glad it's not, but I did have my heart in my mouth for a second there. Right. The first half definitely was all us. Second half has started off all them. Momentum has gone back in our favour since that highlight, but I would like to see a little bit more from us on the pitch. Right, substitution. Richards, I thought, was playing better than that. He's definitely not. So Ben El Mahani is going to come on. I'm then going to make another change, and it's going to be Tolson off for Dolan. And we'll leave it at that for now. Let's see if we can get a bit of magic from Ben El Mahani. Hopefully we can. He's not inconsistent in terms of his actual attributes, but he has been inconsistent for us. I'd like to see a little bit more from him than what we have done so far. So a goal here would definitely help that. Because I'm a bit concerned because it is only 1-0 and we're approaching the 80th minute. Goal would be great, boys. A goal would be great. Right, final change. Bills has not had a great game. We're going to do our usual. McGinley goes to the middle. And Bills can come off for Staunton. And we will call it a day on the substitutions with that. Right, come on, boys. Let's either see the game out or get another goal. Because I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to concede a late one. Right, we have a corner here. Dolan to take it, the substitute. He has got a short option. I wonder whether he'll go short here. I've got a feeling he's going to go short here, you know. It's set up for it. No, he actually goes long. Yanni's there, and it's just over. It nearly works. It nearly works. I have got... Normally, we just go long. I then have got two one short corner routine and one fake short corner routine that is basically our normal one, just with a decoy. And that was that one. And I do like it because every now and then it does work. Right. It wasn't as clear-cut and straightforward as we wanted it to be. But we win the game. We were the dominant team as well, which is good to see. But we do win the game. We do get 3 points. And we do continue our march to what will hopefully be a promotion in our first season, which would be lovely. Would be absolutely lovely. Which I think would also be the highest that the club has ever finished in their history. I think we did establish that before. But we do win. Staunton is in the team of the week inexplicably. He played a little bit of that game. He must have been for the game before because that's such a nonsense. But we do win. We do beat the Quakers. And as it stands, oh, it's a thing of beauty. That's how the table is looking. After 32 games for every single team, we lead by 14 points. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. 46 games, of course, in the league. So we've still got another 14 games left to go. We're nowhere near confirming promotion yet. We're not even confirmed finishing in the playoffs yet. But you've got to think that we are the absolute favourites for everything. And I'm delighted with that. We've also got the best goals for in the league, the second best goals against by 1 goal. We're having a bit of a season and I'm very, very happy about it. Glenn Taylor's still on top with goals. Carlos Richards still second with assists. That's obviously not going to change in the manner of 1 game, so that's all pretty good. Tamworth title holders, of course, if they were in this league, I would have picked them because they're actually probably the most local team. Right, so next time you will see me is a very good question. We'll come back at some point in March, and then we'll eventually come back for the season finale. I think we'll come back around the... Should we say around the Chester-Hereford game? I mean, we could come back for the FA Trophy. I don't really care that much about it, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not really that bothered. We're 14 points clear at the moment. We'd need 5 games, basically, to confirm that. We'd need 5 games left to confirm the title with that points difference. So... yeah, I think we do Chester-Hereford, and then we come back for a short run towards the end of the season. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Again, FA Trophy, if we manage to get through to like the semi-final or the final, we'll show you those, of course. But yeah, we're going to come around there, and fingers crossed, we're going to come away with more victories that will hopefully cement a promotion to the National League. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on there for me. And do not forget to subscribe as well. It's completely free to do so. And you put a big smile on this face right here. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.